former Queensland Red superstars Aidan Toa and Dallin Murphy. Lads, how are we?
People, yeah, mate, good, really good.
Very, very excited to be here, obviously.
Bit nervous?
A little bit nervous. On our bench, the battlers, the gruesome twosome, Big Fat Darcy, Ryan Fellini.
Fellow Terration, mate.
What do I ask him? I don't really have a question, mate. I love you, mate.
Yo ma, and welcome to the PAC Show, proudly brought to you by PAC Athletic Club and DoubleTake Sports, the rugby show that brings you all the highlights, the lowlights, the reviews, the previews, the news and the interviews from rugby here in Australia and around the world. My name is Jay Board. Joining me, we've got a full contingent tonight. We've got Aidan Toa, we've got Dallin Murphy, and the shit munchers over there on the battlers bench. Big Fat Darcy, the kill switch themselves. How are you, lads?
Nom.
Munching that
Good.
shit. How you doing, Darcy? How you feeling, man?
Yeah, I'm good.
You good?
Yeah, we're getting this one rolling after the false start on
Monday
night.
Yeah.
It's funny, though, you've all of a sudden gone from 0 trainings to 2 trainings this week. Don't want to reveal your secrets, but...
No, we don't.
You're looking pretty beefy in that jersey, Big Fat Darcy. What are you benching?
Till the track. I don't know, man.
Still set to 10 on 120?
Yeah, easy. Inclining, like as in ramping up. Upside down pyramid. These are all buzzwords that are still used. Yeah.
Oh, it's good starting out with Big Fat Darcy. It's all downhill from here. How you doing, though, Dow? You feeling good, man?
Feeling real good. Yeah.
On Monday night, you were getting a bit antsy with Friends there. You feeling a bit better now, though?
Yeah, I do. I feel a lot better now. I had a bit of a rough Monday with friends, but, you know, we kind of talked it out and we're all good.
He was very touching this Harbour. I loved it.
He
Guru Monday.
He messaged me after. and he goes, "Hey, Dale, can I sign up to your F45?" He goes, "I want to put money in your pocket." I was like, "Okay." And then I got here today. He's like, "Mate, it's too far. it's too far."
It is, mate. I had to drive from Wavell to Lutwich. It's just too
Which is
far.
where I live, Wavell, and I go there every morning.
It's because you're business, mate.
Yeah. How far is Wavell to Lutwich?
It's like a 4-minute
7
drive.
minutes, yeah.
I can literally roll down the hill to Nunda. Fit stop, it's just so much closer. And I don't even go anyway. So it doesn't matter. So I wear black shirts.
Yeah. Work smarter, not harder, friends. Well, we've got a massive show this evening. Obviously, we're going to be reviewing all the international footy from the weekend. The Wallabies getting the dub up against England, All Blacks smoking Ireland, and so on and so forth. The Pacific Nations Cup. Man, there was some scary stuff coming out of the Fiji-Tonga game, that's for damn sure. Junior Wallabies played some footy, so there's plenty of shit we want to have a yarn about. Tonight as well, Doss is teed up. We've got Alex Murphy, new hooker for the Melbourne Rebels, going to be joining us on the blower. And I get the feeling he's probably going to nominate that he's going to be playing for Tonga in the World Cup in a few years' time.
That was going to be one of my questions. That was going to be
That
one
was
of my questions.
And you want to know something? That question was actually posed by Sione from us to ask them. So the one question Freeney had lined up was actually
So
given to him
don't
by
worry, I
Sione.
can relate because... Don't worry.
I knew that was going to take the wind out of your sails. But before that, it's time for PAC News, Zach. Very good.
I love it.
First off the bat, Wallabies. Wallabies 30, England 28. Wallabies 30, England 28. Dow, best thing ever, eh?
It was sensational, wasn't it? The grit and determination, and I just love the way they play for each other at the moment. It's pretty special. Like, I use the word special for that win on the weekend because they shouldn't have won. You know what I mean, there's a fair
14
amount.
men for 2/3 of the match.
Losing your starting 10, minutes before the
6
game.
minutes before.
Yeah.
James O'Connor's halfway through doing an interview in a corporate suite, and he's get pulled down to the bench. Darcy Swain, red card. Alan Alatoa, concussion. Tom Banks, broken arm.
Wasn't that just...
Yeah, Doss, I wanted to get your thoughts on that because we know Banksy signed to Honda Heat, big contract over there. I mean, I was saying, he's last few seasons, he's typically started in the 15 jersey, hasn't really finished it. This has got to hurt. I mean, this could potentially be his last chance playing for the Wallabies, depending on how his career goes, and that was just horrible.
No, yeah, exactly. Disappointing for young Banksy. I had a chat to him a couple of months ago, and he was really... He had signed at Honda, and so he knew that he was leaving, but he was really keen to, leave on a really good note. I guess leave with that 15 Wallabies jersey, make it his own this year. So his mate super disappointed for him to end the way that it did, and oh God, wasn't it just I couldn't watch the replay.
No, I couldn't. They showed it once, and then I had to walk out of the room. Oh, I hate that shit, man. Oh, it's the worst. But Big Fat Das, how about the boys, huh? Was that not just the best game of footy you've ever seen? I want to get your thoughts on it. What are you
No, it was. The only thing was them finishing off a game, which did worry me a touch.
Started slow
But
as well.
Let's just take the win, take the positivity, but
What about that Henry Arundel kid? We all saw he went viral.
How old's he?
Was he the under 20s? Was he the under 20s England winger with those scoring
He's
those
the
ridiculous
kid.
score?
He's the
tries?
kid that scored that try earlier this
For London
year
Irish,
from,
eh?
from his
Yeah.
own 5-metre line, ran the length of the field, slicing everyone. First touch in international footy.
I'm
What
just
was
not
he?
sure.
Jinx on the outside, or beats two.
Yeah.
Jinx on the outside of a covering fullback who's in good position.
I just don't think you'll see a better first touch in international rugby ever again.
No, well,
Unbelievable.
Lloyd Johansson. Remember he scored that try with his gloves? I took him over on the...
He did. He scored a try of his first touch.
But he didn't touch it technically because of his gloves. So,
So it wasn't his first
technically
touch.
it wasn't his first touch.
Whose head did he take off? That was a good one.
Oh, that photo.
Mortlock?
Is it Sterling Mortlock?
It was Mortlock.
Yes,
Yeah,
it was.
and you could just...
His
Nah,
gloves
it's good
gripped.
times. But, mate, no, that was absolutely huge. Like, the old guard, mate, Parecki and Caden Neville were absolutely awesome friends.
Yeah. It was actually a bit of a compliment. Morgan Turinui that day said I look like him. If,
You look like what,
if
Parecki?
he just ate KFC.
How long was the pause in between?
Yeah. It's
If
very rude from him.
If
It's because I
Yeah.
commented on his new shoes. They look ridiculous.
Oh, here we go.
With his white shoes with his suit, but hey.
They do that, don't they?
Yeah.
yeah, with their MJ Bale kit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
No,
a bit
but
wanky.
mate, he's good. He's bloody good.
Mate, they were absolutely awesome. To
Yeah.
see those experienced campaigners come in. Dave Parecki, he had something like 16 tackles by the 60-something minute. Like, he was just going hell for leather, man. He was absolutely awesome.
we
For
we
Neville to step up,
Yeah.
losing Swain.
And we talked about it last week, right? This obsession over the recent times with wanting to blood these young guys and
Yes.
let's get them exposure, and then you see their performances are like they're so
Yep.
inconsistent. Got Caden Neville 33, Dave Precky's 29.
29.
Seasoned campaigners,
I-
played
Love it.
years and years, and then they just step up and
I don't see the issue of picking someone that's like 26, 27, 28, whatever. Like
there's
you
no
know, if they're
issue
good
at
enough
all.
to
There is no
make it.
issue. That's
No, but
how
like
it should
but
be.
No, but it never happened. It's never happened until sort of recently, like, with Thorny picking, Fiao, dudes that haven't really been too much in the system. And
Because
like,
the pathway's been so...
yeah, I know, but that's what I mean. Just like if
Yeah.
you're not 22 or 21 or whatever, like you're not going to get a chance. But
No.
it's good to see. Like Hayden Neville, he was awesome.
He was unbelievable.
And he
And
would have
lost
had to take
Darcy
over.
Swain, who is
Yeah.
the line-out
Exactly
operator,
right,
and
yeah.
brought on Matt Phillip, who's another sort of Franks and Beans second rower.
Yeah.
Like, you just had two workhorses in the second row just doing their thing. And I think outside of one line-out still operated well. The scrum was great. The set piece... mate,
Yeah.
got a big stiffy just thinking about it. All Blacks 42, Ireland 19. The scoreline isn't very nice in favour of Ireland there, Dos, but this game was... It was still a bloody good game of footy. It was just that last 20 minutes of the first half that the All Blacks just iced it.
Mate, typical of recent All Black and Ireland encounters over the last couple of years. They've been really well fought. The Irish started really well, and it was a bit back and forth. And as he said, that last 10 minutes, 15 minutes before the first half, as we know, and we saw it with the under-20s when they played Argentina yesterday. That little period before halftime and just after halftime, these Kiwi teams, they're just so good at just staying in the game. And you can't afford a little lapse of concentration in those periods.
They seem to, when you sort of fade out 5%, they seem to go up 10, and that just can be enough to absolutely ice them.
Johnny Sexton going off at 14
for the HIA.
Yeah.
And like the thing is, I think like there's been a lot of shit talk about Sam Cane obviously having not only the starting 7 jersey dow, but also the captain's armband. But he was unbelievable for the All Blacks. Him in tandem with Artie Sarveyor. Mate, they were great together, I reckon.
Yeah, there's a big compliment there for each other. They obviously compliment each other a fair bit when they're on the field. One's obviously just tireless, and the other one's got a bit of X factor. So I think Sam Cane, and I think the other one is Aaron Smith. I personally said
he's the best halfback of all time.
I personally said
good.
during the year, he's old, he's past it, and he was special.
Steps it up.
He did. He was just sensational, and
his
that try he
pass
scored
is
or
just-
set up, it was outstanding.
And his just tempo, he is just an absolute freak.
Is that the try that Scotty Barrett set up, where he drove that bloke back into the ruck and then kind of pulled him down, and Aaron Smith went straight over?
Did you?
Yeah. But
He's-
Clean and claim,
didn't get
mate.
picked.
Clean
I
and
love it.
claim.
Yeah, right.
He is a freak, mate. But I think that's 47 match win streak at Eden Park for the All Blacks. Now,
Ridiculous record.
What is it, sorry?
47 match winning streak at Eden Park.
That's
Yeah, fair enough.
And the thing is, as I was saying, the
Ridiculous.
scoreline wasn't obviously in favour of Ireland, but they were held up 5 or 6 times.
Yeah.
So the All Blacks took their opportunities, but they stepped up a level in defence. Like they were.
Whitelock. God.
Sam Whitelock is the man, Captain Caveman. He is an absolute freak. He is so damn good. It's not
He's got
funny.
like farmer strength, eh?
He's getting a rugged face more and more, isn't he? It's
Yeah.
getting more.
He looks very
Caveman-ish.
Cro-Magnon.
I was watching him about to pack a scrum, and then I was seeing, I'm like, imagine having to play a guy like that in club, like that. Like he's gone back to club for a weekend or something.
Yeah.
And he just got this big gargoyle, just relentless. He's just like, all right.
I think after the
Just leave me
25th,
alone.
there's a photo of him shaking the then Prime Minister's hand after the 2015 World Cup, and I think the Prime Minister's about 5'5", and he's
Yeah, I remember.
down
that,
on
yeah.
top of him. It looks Photoshop, but it's legit. He's a friggin' humongous freak. Speaking of, clean sweep for the Southern Hemisphere sides. Friends. How good is Southern Hemisphere rugby?
Mate.
Club
Leicester
rugby, mate. I was saying
Tigers
club
would
rugby.
beat everyone, man. Crusaders would put 50 on them. Melbourne Rebels would beat them. Mate, Northern Hemisphere
The Rebels will
rugby
beat the
sucks.
Leicester Tigers.
Yep.
You are a fucking idiot.
I'm just staring at him. It was good.
Club
You
rugby.
took it-
You got it.
Northern Hemisphere club
No, it's
rugby
not, mate.
is
Crusaders would
unbelievable.
pump everyone.
Are you kidding me, mate?
Easy.
You're saying
Don't look at
that
them,
up against-
J-Boy. Don't look at them. Right?
You're saying that you take the
Oh,
best
3-0,
from the
3-0,
Champions Cup.
yeah.
But
Easy.
clean sweep. Now watch this weekend. I reckon Northern Hemisphere sides will win 3 out of 4.
Yeah.
South Africa even won with the Janchis boys in it, right?
Oh, mate, Elton
MBS
Yankees.
this weekend.
Absolutely.
This weekend, none of them are in it either. I looked at the
Mate,
team list.
He is just
All of them, both of them, Janchas.
How good is
Elton
Malherbe?
Yankees.
Mate, that Malherbe, the big tight end prop.
Malherbe.
I tell you what, mate, he's glorious.
Yeah.
I tell you what,
Get going.
I
Yeah.
heard,
it's good
all he
stuff.
ever eats is bareback biltong, mate.
Wait, what is it?
Yeah, sorry, mate.
Diplomatic immunity.
Diplomatic community. TIA,
Diamonds,
mate.
yeah?
TIA. Mate, he's the best. I was watching him scrummage, and he just wasn't moving an inch. He was just like...
But, I mean, that's a huge step up. I mean, obviously, they're all playing the home nations and stuff like that, but even the Argies getting up over Scotland.
Easy.
Japan lost to France, but we won't talk about that.
So,
But
That's still Northern Hemisphere, aren't they?
But we also saw the Pacific Nations Cup, technically. We still saw the Pacific Nations Cup, so Australia, with their first hit out against Samoa going down. I think I read an article that said careless and clinical Dow. You'd have to say that's pretty bang on.
yeah, certainly the first 15, 20 minutes, they were just shocking, penalty after penalty after penalty, and then they found their groove, and they should have won the game in the end, but it was, well fought out by Samoa. They were excellent, you know what I mean? They were clinical at times.
You
And
can't take it away from them. They played pretty well.
no, absolutely, 100%.
Yeah, bloody oath.
They were terrific.
Yono was awesome.
Yeah, oh,
They
mate.
played really good.
He just terrorised the
Was he
Aussie
the
side.
was he the fullback or something? I can't remember his name. He was really sharp as well. Can't remember his name though.
But I think as well that it
80% sure.
good input. I think as well it really highlighted that second string, like the value that the Australia A program can add. The fact that I think we saw like that clear, distinct gap between guys like Fraser McWright, Reece Hodge, Lalakai Feketi, who are those fringe Wallaby players, and the guys who need that second stepping stone. Like there is Fraser McWright was unbelievable, but
Yeah.
you can see that like those guys need to be playing international footy at this time and not club footy. So, like, I don't know, Dos, but I think that it's only been one game, but I think it's good signs that this is sort of the thing that Australian rugby needed, that second stepping stone, having the Australia A program back in.
Yeah, 100%. You're exactly right. Playing against internationals is only going to be better for you. And you're right, the way that Aussie A, it'll really separate, we saw with Reece Hodge going in into the Wallabies this week, it'll separate the guys who, should be in the Wallaby squad, or the guys who are knocking on the door. They'll step up in these games. And we'll see them over the next couple of weeks get better. I mean, they got together, a week or two before the first game.
But it also highlights those, like, that middle tier, like the Jock Campbells, where you're sort of like, unlucky to miss the Wallaby squad, but, is he up to it? Well, he probably is, because you saw that he's killing it at Super Rugby Dow, and then he does actually test his mettle against Samoa and does pretty bloody well.
Yeah, and when you think about it, prior to this year, they were going back and they were playing club footy.
Yeah.
So now they've got the ability to go over and play 3 games against, you know what I mean?
Good opposition.
Yeah,
good
international
quality.
opposition. And it looks like now there's going to be further games towards the back end of the year, which is exciting for them as well.
Which is absolutely awesome.
The more games they can play, the better they are.
More games for Australia A?
Yeah.
Oh, right. Gotcha.
What sort of format, like against, do we know?
No, I don't know yet, but there'll be like another tour, I think, somewhere, and then it'll lead into a
Mate, that would be
tour.
awesome.
So good.
Yeah, leading into a spring tour, that would be sick. Hey, friends, Fiji 36, Tonga 0.
Oh my goodness. As we say in Tonga, fight died. The boys were looking very tired. Yes. No, well, in my opinion, they left a lot of tries out there, but they
Fiji.
also just kept trying to. It was like they're trying to play under 10s past to Izzy, past Fekitoa did all he could do,
but he shit the bed a couple of times.
Yeah. But in saying that, Fiji, holy shit,
they were ridiculous. Ridiculous, mate. And the thing is, their set piece, like everyone's always said, like they can score from anywhere and all this sort of stuff, but their set
Tongan front row.
Tongan.
Folded.
Yeah.
Like,
they were smoking them, but they're missing a few players as well, aren't they?
Yeah, Tuisova, Randrandra, Botia, Tavatava Nawai, Nakarawa, Yato, and Mata. And Kunatani too, if you want to throw him in there. So that's well, he's playing 7s, but he should be on the side of the scrum too. But that's ridiculous.
Yeah. Ridiculous, because that right there is sort of like that's sort of 4 or 5 of their best players.
We're all fine.
Israel Folau did his hammy trying to run away from having to make a cover tackle. Is he out, or is it just
for the rest
twin?
of the tour he's out. 3 games, whatever.
Stinger.
I just think they just kept going away from what they were like. They just went away from what they usually do, is pretty forward orientated, and they just kept like, get the ball to them, get the ball to them. So
I also thought you've got Fekitoa and Folau, put them at 12 and 13. I don't care who your 13 is, TML Puyao or whatever. Just
let a ball.
He's gone, mate. you don't put Izzy Folau on the sting when he's first game for Tonga.
Who is it? Fullback? Charles Piatel.
Charles Piatel.
Fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was busy. He is a rung above.
You can't take him away from, like, bloody Fiji were ridiculous, man. Hambosi, man, he's the real deal.
He's the real deal,
and then,
man.
his name Tuiduva or something like that, the fullback. I'm like, who's this guy? He's got nos. Like, who's this guy? And I had to look him up, and he plays in somewhere in France, and I'm just like, they just keep going.
Mate.
Do you think, obviously it's only one game, but do you think they look so good on the back of the ability to play Super Rugby?
100%. Sorry. Yes.
Yeah.
Because their set piece, they've been playing together all year. Their set piece was, like, I wouldn't say errorless, but their hooker, I really rate their hooker too. I can't remember his name, but he's gun. But their set piece is awesome. Their scrums and their lineouts were both good. And they weren't just like just smashing them a bit in the scrums. They were dominant. The Tongans were going backwards.
Yeah, mate.
It was pretty bad.
They got snifted. And then we also saw the Junior Wallabies in their first match going down to the Argies. That was a tough one, Mason
Johnny
Gordon.
Brown at hooker. Did you see? We have to get a photo.
We'll get some lookalikes. But they went down 24-21 to the Argies last kick of the game. Mason Gordon not finding touch. But then last night, 58-5 over Fiji, DOS. good bounce back, but that loss to the RGs, they will be ruined that one big time.
Yeah, I don't think many people saw it coming.
Nope.
Mate, the Argentinian set piece just tore them to bits.
I think it was 3 yellow cards in the match.
2 penalty
tries.
Yeah.
And
the Aussies, they couldn't find a way to come back from I guess the mental loss in getting beaten that hard at set piece. And then Mason Gordon, maybe going for too much. I was calling the game, wanting them to go for 3. Because, you go for 3. Mason Gordon's such a terrific goal kicker.
Yeah.
You go for 3, and then you back yourself to beat the Kiwis in the last game. In my opinion. That's the way I see it. I'm glad that they did back themselves. Unfortunately for young Mason, it didn't go the way he would have wanted to, but bounced back nicely with a nice big win over Fiji.
And they rang the changes last night, Dow. 14 out of 15 starters all came in and clearly got the job done against Fiji.
Yeah, obviously they wanted to make sure everyone had a game throughout this period, and now I think they've got a fair headache on their hands. I think a lot of guys last night probably played themselves into selection.
The 9 and 10 were good.
Yeah, I think Jack Bowen was good. I thought, Louis Worsham was good. Teddy Wilson, when he came on at 9, was good. I think there's a few guys there that were pretty good. So
Zach Hoffman, I love him so much.
Tough.
He's a gun, mate. He's a gun. Down at the Rebels, I think.
Yeah.
But also applies his trade at the Doggies. Lepeti Faifu is another one, man. All Doggies, but, mate, love them to death, man. They're so good. But they've got New Zealand this Sunday, don't they?
4 p.m.
Out at the sunny coast.
Yeah. Hopefully some dry footy for them.
Some dry footy.
Yeah. Hopefully. Mate.
Watching the junior All Blacks play against the RGs, it'll be a tough game for the junior Wallabies. They're going to have to, really step up and take their game to a next level because the young Kiwis, they look very clinical.
Big too.
Oh yeah,
They're solid,
enormous.
Man. I was looking at them like they all look fit and
Yeah.
just jacked. Stingrays.
So,
I got to the bottom of that too. I was 85 kilos the year before I went to Stingrays.
And then
what
what were
did
you
you
when
end
you
up
were
at?
there?
105. No, but
142.
I was
Ring wet. Though.
is
this an
I was just really
combo?
fit, mate. I was just really fit.
This is more of an off-air combo.
Yeah, I
Friends.
think so.
I didn't do it, mate.
Mate.
I'm innocent.
Yeah.
Just put on weight easy.
Yeah.
It's all water. It's glandular.
You're a bad thyroid.
Creatine. All creatine.
Yeah, I hit my thyroid. Quick.
Well, I don't know. We don't have Marf on the blower as yet, Zachy boy. No, we don't. Have we got?
Do we have Johnny Brown?
Do we have Johnny Brown?
Johnny Brown on the.
So yeah, Freens, run us through this. You were just saying Johnny Brown running at a
So I
hooker
was
for
just,
the RGs.
just watching the under-20s play from Argentina, and there's a guy throwing in the ball, and I thought Johnny
He's
Brown
not
was.
Johnny Brown.
I thought that was it. I thought that was dead set Johnny Brown. I thought he was in PNG drilling, but he's obviously lied on his birth certificate. Dead ringer.
Check him out.
Yeah.
Same rig and everything. Eh?
Francisco Correa, his name is.
AKA Johnny Brown.
Allegedly. In English, Johnny Brown.
Yeah, just real top heavy.
Yeah. Just girth boys. Love it.
Little heavy.
Absolutely no neck as well.
Oh, mate.
Yeah.
That is good gas, man. That is real good gas. Well, I think while we're still waiting for Marv to get on the blower, we might have a quick yarn about some QPR footy we saw over the weekend as well. Ooh, Nelly, Bond 40 over Sunnybank. Duck Egg. Ugh. North's 15, UQ 26, not bad. Still not a dub. East 21 to Jeeps 26.
Get in!
East squandering a pretty handsome lead in the wet to the Gallopers. But
Stock
game
standard, really.
We're going to discuss. Up the Doggies.
Up the
24
doggies.
to 20 with a last gasp penalty try. W in the wet at Crosby. Suck it down.
J-Boy, you reckon that this makes West officially the real deal?
West are going to win the premiership
Oh,
this year.
hold on.
100%.
Hold on.
If that
No,
happens,
I know I'm super critical of them
Yeah.
because Old West would have shit the bed and lost that game. They would have had that try scored against them with 2 or 3 minutes to go and done what they've previously done, snatched defeat from the jaws of victory, but they grounded out, they won the ball back, and they seem tougher. Like, they don't seem to be, like, letting opposition get a handle on them. 2 weeks ago against Souths, typically they get out to a 30-point lead and then win by 2. Or they let the team get out to a 30-point lead and lose by 2. They were ruthless, and we haven't seen that for years from the Doggies, Dow. And, like, granted, it was against the Filth, which was awesome, but that right there for mine, as I said, I know I'm critical, but I love the Doggies. They're going to go all the way. It's their premiership to lose if that's the sort of footy they're going to be playing.
Yeah, and I think if they don't, it's a travesty because the team they have and the ability that they've had to keep everyone together, plus the Super Rugby inclusions they now have. And you look at that scrum, you've got Caboose Eloff there absolutely dominating.
Absolutely.
But I think the one person we need to talk about is the resurrection of Harry Higgins.
Yes!
Yes, Harry!
Yes, Harry Higgins, dude.
Oh.
Yes, 100%.
What do you mean the resurrection? Where?
He went to America.
Went to America, never played, came back. What did he come through, 4th grade? Or
He
third
was
grade?
planning just to come. He was just playing Rezzies a couple of years ago. Went back over to Atlanta. Came back. Was just thinking, I'll play some Rezzies. And then he's playing 7 against UQ. And then he was 6 on the weekend. He is beefed up hard too, man. And he's just, but
on the sunny coast.
he is an absolute toiler. Like, I think that's what Elvie's doing.
Yeah,
like,
it's
it's like
attitude
no
training, mate.
attitude. No ego, just get in and get shit done. And Harry Higgins is the one who scores a try on the weekend. Like, he's in everything, mate. Like,
So was he really good?
Oh, he played for the US, so he was over in the US.
he had
went
one
to
cap
West
for the
University
Eagles.
there,
Played for Old Blue, my old mob, in New York and stuff like that. Got a gig with Rugby ATL, first year of MLR, I think it was. So,
Okay.
yeah, but he's also just a loose unit and a bloody good bloke.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, I was with him before my relapse a couple of weeks ago. 2.5 years ago, the last time I drank. Didn't drink ever again for 2.5 years after that night. So, yeah, he's a loose unit, man. Good value. But yes, he is the man, and the Doggy's going to win the premiership.
No, you can know it's the mental toughness, mate. I've been trying to, drill it in the whole preseason. We've done altitude training up Mount Cootha. We've just been running up Mount Cootha, mate.
But mate, no, that actually goes to, like, I've been talking to a couple of guys, and they're like, LV is like, he's not taking shit.
Absolutely
the ego
not, mate.
gets left at the door. He's toughening them up, and it's showing. Like, it is showing, and that win is the
They're
catalyst.
still not going to win the premiership.
Nah.
What do you reckon? The East will?
They'll be top 4. They will.
Mate,
they'll-
if Wes, we got Wes, East, Brothers, Jeeps, and Wes over there. Whatever team
Stingrays.
doesn't win the premiership, like, West are going to win it. So you guys have to do something. If
fair enough.
if West don't win it, I will unironically shave a goatee for the remainder of the year.
Just a chin strap. No moustache.
Nah, you got to go clean shaven.
Clean shaven. Okay. I will go if the Doggies don't win. I'll go
for a
clean
month.
shaven.
For a month. For a month.
And we glue your beard hair on top of your head for a photo. For a
But
photo.
what? No, if West win, you have to bleach blonde your hair.
Yes.
Peroxide blonde.
Just froth the
Yes.
tip.
Same with you, Doss, and same with you,
No
Freens.
problems. I'll do it now.
All right, well,
Wait, when-
Freens, I don't know what you're going to do. Yeah, what do we do for Freens then?
Can't do anything.
Deal?
I'm invincible.
100%. The Doggies are going to win it.
Okay.
All right.
They're going to go 2 better than they did last year.
Okay.
Anyway. Well done on the win, mate.
Thank you. All right, joining us all the way from Melbourne, I believe. New Melbourne Rebels hooker, Alex Murphy. Marv, how you doing, brother?
Hey lads, how are you?
Living the dream, Marv. Mate, new signing with the Rebels. You must be excited making your way down to Melbourne to ply your trade down there for the next couple seasons.
Yeah, super excited, Jay Bohr. It should be a good opportunity for a change of scenery, so we'll see how that goes. I'm really looking forward to it.
And Lecky, you obviously had the neck surgery at the start of the year, which ruled you out of most of Super Rugby Pacific. How's that coming along? Are you going to have a run around for the Bull Sharks before you head down south?
Yeah, it's been going good, Dossie. Sort of only got about 3 weeks left to go. Rehab's been about 4 months so far. Then I'll have a run with Bond hopefully on that weekend against West at home.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're going to lose.
Can you please
too, Marv.
destroy them?
Yeah, I might come out of retirement and play 5th grade. Well, Marv, what was it? Like, there's been a lot of speculation. I mean, a lot of people don't actually know what happened with the neck. If you don't mind talking about it, like, what was it in particular?
It just sort of had an ongoing issue that sort of just gradually got worse and worse. We were managing it for about a year. Then just got to the point where sort of just physio and strengthening sort of work wasn't enough. So then I had to go under the knife and get a fusion at C5/6.
Whoa.
That's obviously that holding yourself up there at hooker type injury, yeah?
Yeah. So I think that's like mainly where it comes from. It's like that actual loading that the hooker gets exposed to on the bind.
You don't realise you've got like a
and I
ton
think
behind you on your neck.
Yeah. But I think that some laws have been implemented so far. I think they were using on the weekend as well in the test match, and that the hooker has to leave his foot up.
Yeah. No, we heard. Yeah, the referee saying keep your right foot up. So that as you said, to stop that axial loading on the engagement there.
Yes, I think they should have brought that rule in last year.
It's hard, isn't it? You can't stop yourself. It's the only way to sort of load up or whatever to try and get in.
Yeah.
To
You want to try and win the bind. Yeah.
But yeah, how is it coming along, Marv? Like it is tracking well.
No, yeah, it's really good. Sort of the next at a point where it's stronger than it was before it got injured. So I'm feeling heaps confident with it now. Just got to tick off doing contacts, and I've started scrumming already. It's feeling good. So yeah, like confidence is super high just because of results in strength and how it's been pulling up post contact and post scrumming. Just got to sort of up the ante a little bit the next couple of weeks and then get through that and then hopefully be back out on the field for the Bull Sharks.
Nice. Marv, obviously you spent a lot of your career, or majority of your career at the Reds, with some time in between in Japan. What's exciting you most about heading down to Melbourne? Obviously you're reconnecting there with this Stylesy, who you would have had up here. What's the most exciting thing about it?
Just a change of scenery, to be honest, Al. I've been rolling into Ballymore since I was in grade 9, I guess, with all those NTS academies and all that sort of stuff. So just sort of go and have a bit of a change of scenery and just train and live in a different place will be really good for me, I think. I think that was something that I thought that went well for me when I went over to Japan, sort of just having a change of scenery and seeing a different approach to rugby and learning a different style of footy. I think I really benefited from that when I came back in 2019.
And have you started to look for some real estate down there? Figured out who you're going to live with, or speaking to the boys around the hot spots, where to live down there?
Yeah, I've got a roommate. You guys probably don't even know this. No one even knows this yet. But yeah, sort of got a roommate in Hamish Stewart. He'll be coming down next season as well. So
News.
we'll be looking.
Shit.
We'll be looking for a place in Richmond, I guess.
Yeah, the boys.
So
boys.
Hamish Stewart has officially signed with the Melbourne Rebels.
Yeah, he told me to let you fellas know.
Marv, that's our first exclusive. Bless you, man. That was awesome.
How good was that?
Oh, hell yeah. What do we do now?
So Muffy, mate, I got a few of the tacos message me on the weekend because their scrum go backwards. Just wondering when you're going to sign for Kalitahi, mate.
Oh, frick. I'm never not going to say no to that, but
Did you hear that, Kev? Did you hear that, Kev, mate?
First and foremost, going to try and get myself into a gold jersey. But yeah, I'll never knock my homeland.
Perfect, mate. That's what we want to hear, mate. Because yeah, like I said, they like a brother scrum, just go backwards. It's not good,
So Muff, while you're still playing in Australia, that gold jersey's still the ultimate goal.
Yeah, 100%. It's a big motivator for me at the moment. I guess I felt like I've fallen short a few times the last few seasons, just through injury, I guess, and to sort of go close and never have the opportunity to sort of be in selection around this time of the year. I guess this time around, I'm hopefully fighting fit in a few weeks, and see what happens. I guess anything can happen. I guess we just got to stay ready, and opportunities arise, as we've seen in the likes of Sammy Talakai rolling in there. Injuries happen, I guess. So
Exactly.
it's an unfortunate case of the game we play, but it happens.
Well, not wearing a Reds jersey might make it a bit easier to get in the Wallabies as well. With how many Reds getting picked. Mate, you're going down to Melbourne. You're going to have to go up against Big Nella. Have you got a tactic for how to, come scrum time, how to put him off his game? Do you put some Skittles down in front of the scrum? Or do you tell him a joke? What's his weakness come scrum time?
You just put it on the deck. You just put it on the floor every time.
That's it. Skittles.
Just leave it in the ref's hand.
Hey, Muff, mate, there's some massive hookers getting around the world, like your Malcolm Marxes and all that sort of stuff. Who would be your toughest opponent you've come up against in scrummaging?
Ryan Franny.
The Argentinian bloke, Montoya.
Yeah.
Julio Montoya.
That'll do.
Yeah, he was a handful when we versed the Jaguares in Argentina one year.
Just a big bopper.
I just want to go back, Lecky. You talked about your injuries and the timing of them, and I have to totally agree with you. I think the timings of your injuries in particular have been probably at the worst times. I have no doubt that if you weren't injured, you would have already had a gold jersey by now. I think of you that highly. But talking to your move, I guess you moved down to Melbourne. Sammy Talakai, I think, coming back.
Yep.
Twainer's going down.
Hamish Stewart.
Hamish Stewart, obviously. Rui Hamish is going down as well. Is there a sense of excitement? They actually played a bit. Their brand of footy was good this year, although the results didn't kind of go their way. I think they definitely stepped up in terms of how they were playing. Speaking of Stylesy, going down there, is there a sense that there might be something exciting over the next 2 years down in Melbourne building?
Yeah, that's something that sort of helped me make the decision, I guess. Watching how they played towards the back end of the season, for me, I think before they beat the Highlanders in the last round, the round before that, then they had the Chiefs, and they lost in the 79th minute.
Yeah.
Prop scored a try, but they were in front at 78 something. I guess just sort of seeing them just fall short a few times, but to see them finally get on to back it up and then get a dub on the board against the Highlanders in the last round was a big positive, big positive thing to see from my point of view, I guess. And then you add in the likes of who they're recruiting, I just thought the bones of their team are pretty good. If whoever's coming down, I guess would be exciting to sort of add to what they're already building.
Any other exclusives, Muff? Well, we won't tell anyone, promise.
None that I'm not allowed to tell. Only Hammer just told me.
Yeah.
Let him know.
Yeah,
Smart move.
So good.
Mark, I want to get your thoughts on it because we've spoken about it previously, and there's been a lot of. We saw on the weekend guys like Izzy Folau, Piatau, and all that sort of stuff going back to represent Tonga and all this sort of thing. So obviously, all the international teams are now probably going to be chatting to players with whatever home nation or heritage they do have. It is a two-parting question because A, has Kef reached out to you at least just to float the idea, and B, you are on the periphery coming back from the injury. As Doss said, you've had some bad injuries at bad times, but been right on the brink of a Wallaby jersey. Is there a lot of communication coming from Dave Rennie and his team in regards to a potential pathway for you back into a gold jersey as well?
Firstly, I haven't heard from Kefs at all. I have heard him say somewhere that because he's a Wallaby himself, he sort of respects Australian rugby in that sense. That he sort of won't really approach guys that are in that system, and will try and encourage them to sort of progress through the Australian rugby system. I've heard that from someone before, so I guess that's probably his standpoint of view. I spoke to Dave Rennie once. He was just in and around Ballymore earlier on in the year. It was just it was still positive news. At that time I was only just beginning rehab, so there was no sort of nothing to sort of really look forward to in terms of good news. But yeah, I guess it just, like I said before, just always got to try and stay ready for any opportunity that could arise in the future.
Well, I mean, even if that pathway into the Wallabies isn't sort of clear right now, do you think maybe Australia A, Dow was saying that it looks like they're going to be playing more footy at the back end of this year. We just saw Hamish actually starting for them on the weekend. Do you think maybe that might be a goal for you at the back end of this year, maybe get in that squad just to get the wheels moving again?
Yeah, like I'll never put my hand, not put my hand up, I guess, for any opportunity. So yeah, I guess when that time comes around, we'll have a look at where things are at, and if that's the right way for me to go, then that's the right way for me to go, I guess.
Awesome. Well, one last question, Mark. Big Fat Dash, you got something?
No. J-Ball.
Sorry, Mark. I just like
he
to
didn't even have his
Big Fat
microphone
Dash.
up.
I didn't even have his microphone in his hand. This is what I'm talking about. It's just good. I see his eyes glaze over when things happen like this.
We're just freezing. We're just talking about how fucking cold is it?
Anyway, Marv, mate, thanks so much for joining us, brother. All the best with the recovery from the neck injury. We can't wait to see you and Hamish down at the Rebels next year, brother. And we wish you all the best.
All right, cheers, guys. Thanks for having me on tonight.
Your Marv.
Cheers, Marv. Have a good one, brother.
Love to see him in a Wallabies jersey.
Alex Murphy, everybody. Yeah, mate. He deserves it, I reckon. Like, you know, if he gets back to his fitness and the way he plays, he's definitely one guy that he definitely deserves to be there.
He's a top 3 hooker, right?
Yep, easy.
Yes,
So by
100%.
far, like he's got the throw, he's got the set piece, he gets
tough,
around the
man.
park extremely well.
Yes.
He's
Start
one
of the
those
season
guys.
last year, he was just on
yeah.
fire.
Well,
Yes.
he was my bolter for
Yeah.
the Wallaby
His
squad.
first 5
Yep.
games. And
Yep.
then he got,
I thought he was going to be on
Yeah.
the Wallaby squad last
Yeah.
year.
And I think, like he touched on, you know what I mean, the best thing for him, you know what I mean, is that change of
Is the
scenery. It's
change,
to freshen up for him.
100%.
Rather than having to go overseas and do that, he gets the ability now to do it down in Melbourne. Melbourne's a cool city.
Yeah.
Sounds like a
He'll
good
love
little
it
crew.
down there.
coffees.
Good
Yeah.
little crew get going down there.
Yeah.
And
Maybe
not
they
under,
can
not under the
recreate-
spotlight either.
Recreate that
Really
photo with James O'Connor and Digby Iwani and Buddy Franklin all in the hot tub.
The hot tub.
Rocking it hard. Maybe that can be our new. We've got to get a new photo for our YouTube tile. Maybe
Mate,
we can
I-
recreate that one.
Did you guys see the ordinary rig comp in UK on the weekend? There was one.
I saw
back-
0 ordinary rigs.
Yeah, there's one back. There was one ordinary rig. Everyone
Yeah.
was ripped.
Yeah. What's...
I was disgusted.
No, we were chatting to them because we're going to try to maybe help promote it and stuff like that. And BJ, their GM, was just like, look, you know, a couple of years ago we thought ordinary rig and it sort of just turned into real sloppy pig. You know, everyone,
Yeah.
and it's meant to be ordinary,
Oh,
not like
not
extraordinarily disgusting. So they were sort of like
all this training I've been doing.
well, it's now, you know, they're going to have some parameters. Like, you sort of need to be
Extraordinary.
like
Under
a sort of ex-athlete. You could still like kick the
Righto.
footy, whereas some of the
Like
other
Drew
guys,
Mitchell,
mate,
you know,
like
just a
the
bit
only,
muddy. Not too
White
bad,
shoes.
just a bit
yeah,
muddy.
the only
Budgies.
thing they're fighting is adult onside diabetes,
And what
man.
about
Like
the
diabetes.
what about the PAC News exclusive?
Oh yeah,
good.
shit!
Good.
We didn't even talk about that. Yeah, how good was that? How good was that? Hamish Stewart going down to the Rebels, man. That's absolutely
Huge.
massive.
I think
Flip
it
that
is.
quickly, Zach. Quick, and we'll just share it, and then they have to share our.
You
watermark
just
or
just
something.
do it, Zach.
Just
Flip
do
it.
it.
Send it out.
Why is it not
the
done?
internet
Why
on?
isn't it done
Why
already?
is
The
it
internet
done?
on, by the way?
Jesus Christ. We're going to talk after this, boys.
Has
The
he
boardroom.
clicked it yet?
But mate, yeah, that's absolutely massive. So that's
Melbourne
what
Reds.
8 huge signings because they announced Ryan Lowrens is going back as well. Like,
Is he? Who's
They
leaving?
are-
Is Joe Powell leaving?
Yeah, Joe's gone to Irish.
Was Lowrence that guy's jacked?
yeah, with the bikes.
Guns with the
Yeah, he's been with the Gilgronis over in Austin.
And he spent
So
some
he's
time
just-
at the Sunny Coast, didn't he?
He did.
Yeah,
looks like it.
Come on, guys.
I wasn't not saying nothing, mate.
Yeah, exactly. You shouldn't.
Well, here we go.
No, you're looking good, big fat ass.
He
I'm
is.
juicing. Oranges.
And celery.
Yeah.
And kale. All superfoods.
Yep. Superfoods.
But Dal, what do you reckon? Hamish, good signing for the Rebels?
100%.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's quality. You know what I mean? The more quality players they can get down there, I think the better.
The depth. They need that depth.
Experience
at
campaigner.
12, yeah.
Yeah.
And you look at it,
Massive.
like they lost Matty Tamua. So he's heading off as well. And so Carter Gordon's there, so he'll start at 10, you'd think, and then have some experience outside of him. I think it's pretty cool.
Because they've re-signed Stacey Illy as well.
Yeah,
so
13 is quality.
Yeah, mate. Look, as you touched on, Dos, I don't think it's going to be the elixir that's going to get them going next year, but I think next year they're going to do pretty well. And the year after that, if they get that big signing, I think they do need a big game breaker.
They'll still beat Lesser Tigers.
Well, you look at
Probably.
it, and if they're doing what they're doing this year, do you know what I mean? Samu, I think, Dos, correct me here if I'm wrong, is off contract next year.
Next year.
World Cup comes around.
You been there, guys.
You know, there's no reason why, especially with the guys they will have down there and the familiarity he will have with them. There's no reason why he is not that guy.
I agree. I mean, and I have to say, I caught up with him. He's very vague, but he did mention that his contract was up in January with Suntory.
And he wants
Which was
PAC to represent him as his manager. Huge exclusive.
Especially when the World Cup come. A little throwback. Dow. I'm piling on. Brothers lost on the weekend. I'm piling on.
Good, man. Keep going, big
Kicking
fat
Warriors
Das.
down.
Big fat Das.
Oh, yes. I
time
love
for
your
the Fatness
segment.
bench.
Yeah.
What do we got?
I have no idea what to expect.
Are we throwing to
PAC Rugby Show. The people are represented by two separate yet equally important groups. The learned, well-researched, presentable, highly motivated panelists, and also the battlers bench. Filled with sloppy, opinionated, underprepared, but still sexy, never worse, whose demeanor is heinous in nature. These are their stories.
I've actually done up. Oh, I forgot about the music. Yeah, cruising the city. Look for heinous. I actually did up a clip, which was meant to go. Which next time I might feed it in. Zach, you just roll the clip. Just some footy. That's just me rolling around. Yeah. Oof. That one hurt. This is something I've been working on for a couple of weeks. Oh, God. But what I really wanted to do is let's do a bit of a what if. What if we had to do instead of doing a NRC, we did a combined club comp.
Yes.
As that mid-tier kind of a thing, and I grabbed all the Brisbane clubs, and if we had to do mergers, like remember the NRL mergers
Yes.
Northern Eagles. Oh, okay. So you guys can see it; they can't see it. Okay, gotcha. This one is a merging between South and East. If you just throw it up there, Zachy. The Southeast Bird Bars. I was gonna call. So we got the Magpie on the Bird Bar. I did. I was gonna call them the Gypsy Wooden Rafter Races, but just didn't. I didn't know how to do rafters and then races. So I went with the Southeast Bird Bars, where South's in your mouth and your end in your bird bath. So that's just their little song. Southeast Bird Bars. God. Next one I went with is it's a Japanese consortium that if they were to buy two teams from the Brisbane comp. Now what was I thinking? And then this conglomerate is a super glue factory conglomerate. Super glue, right? Super glue is like you use it for bonding things. Oh. So you got Bond, and then you got the glue factory. So we got the Tawagase Super Glue Factory.
What is Tawagase mean?
It's actually, I googled it. It is actually the number one. It's the number one super glue factory in Japan. In the whole of the world. Yeah, well, that's questionable. And then you've got the horse hoof because they melt them down for some glue. Super glue. This is going really well. What else did I spend all of my spare time on? Righto. I went with it. Now we're starting to get into the questionable And this one is when two clubs come together, kind of like these St. George Illawarra Dragons, where Illawarra
Steelers.
They were like, right, it's St. George, right? So these two, I joined Uni and Sunnybank.
Yes.
And so if you just have a look at the logo that we've got going on in here, basically it's Sunnybank Red Heavies. Uni just took over. Poor Sunnybank. Little Dragons. So they're the Sunnybank Dragons.
Sunnybank?
And then...
But is that they just take the 3 best players out of Sunnybank?
Yeah.
Everyone else
We'll play
is
at
left.
Uni. We'll train at Uni.
We'll take the centre and the halfback and Tommy Lucas.
Now this next one is if a celebrity owner bought a team. Now this one is owned by Kanye West and his daughter Northwest. So I joined them at the Northwest Bulldeagles. So I spent about an hour and a half trying to get a bulldog head on an eagle.
And have done really well.
Thanks.
That is seamless.
Finally, some
It's actually
positivity.
seamless.
I thought that was a real
It's like
animal.
an animal. That's perfect.
And geez, this team will be disappointing. The next one. Well, the next one. There's an odd number of teams, right? And so I was like, who'd want to join with this team? No one. Hit me with it. It's just brothers by itself. Because who would want to join a filthy club like that? It is what it is, Dale. They're just by themselves. They're just doing their own thing, playing their own type of footy. Losing footy on the parent.
Every week I don't think it's going to get better, but it does.
It does,
doesn't it?
It's terrific.
I feel null and void.
I think
I've only got accents
What
now.
we did, and then okay. So on the interweb, we've been getting a lot of about Gregor the groundsman, and trying to explain exactly what he was talking about in regards to spreading the seed over west for the last 2 weeks. So he sent me a diagram, and so if we kind of have a look at this, so what you got is and so if you see the yellow bit there, that's actually stocking. That's the razzmatazz, which traps it in the toilet.
That's a solid
And then the
poo.
chia seed
Who's
comes through,
pooing like that
and
anymore?
then it filters it through, and then you throw the whole stocking out on the field, and then like a chia pet.
Mate, well, the
Right.
thing is, that poo is not going to, that's pretty solid.
Yeah, but the more water it's like panning for gold. It'll come through, and then you go, uh-oh, razzmatazz. And we got, and then next one, I heard a rumour that that there's new plans for Brothers to move their clubhouse to the old dog track, Albion Park dog track. And I actually got the plans and what it's going to be called. It's going to be called, instead of Dish Lickers, it's called the Fish Lickers Stadium. Because they're the fish eaters. Fish Lickers. And then you see where the red and the yellow and the green kind of pattern is there? That's where they have buried all the babies. That's where they are, in under there. Classic Brothers. And also you'll see that there's only half a field, because they only play half a game of footy anyway.
Classic.
Are we out? I think that's about it.
All right, great show.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Jesus Christ.
That was brilliant. Round of applause. Battler's bench. On fire once again.
See, this is what happens when we move the show to Wednesday. Gives you a bit of time.
I've been sitting on that for a while.
Yeah,
I said
you were
J-Ball.
showing us a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, yeah,
Those
that
logos.
was about 4 in the I'll show you that. Anyway,
Don't remember much about that night. Remember
We'll
that
talk
bit,
about
though.
And then J-Ball cried.
Big time.
Fish lickers, though.
It's got legs.
Well, it doesn't really. It's a fish.
Yeah! Pile on him. Yeah. Mugby.
My ribs are so sore. Bravo, big fat ass. That was good stuff. Alrighty. Fucking hell. Shoot Shield, round 13. A lot of the results sort of went the way we were expecting. Manly 27 over South 7. Randwick 13 went down to Gordon 23. West Harbour 6 got palmed by North 35. Eastwood did the job on Hunter 29-7. Sydney Uni went to town on East 41-6. But Dow, 2 Blues 14-10 over Warringah in the driving rain. at Tweedale. Swampy conditions, but, mate, hard fought, awesome win.
What a game.
Yeah, it was. They just grinded it out. They were fantastic.
Totty Murphy got 2 tries in the wet.
Insane.
Toddy Murphy and Sione Fafita, I think both those guys have been immense so far this year, but Toddy Murphy was sensational. And they keep rising to the challenge. And like you kind of spoke about, last week, it's not just the big blowout games. They're winning the tight tussle now, which means, in my opinion, like they're ready to go.
Grinding it out.
They're genuine finals contenders.
So they're the West Bulldogs.
Similar to
of
the
Sydney
West
Cop.
Bulldogs.
Similar to the
Yeah.
West Bulldogs.
They're going to win it. They're going to go all the way.
Imagine the two Blues. Have the two Blues ever won it?
Don't know.
Imagine if they won it. Imagine if they won the Shoot Shield. The algorithm would be out.
Oh,
Sydney
mate.
Uni would actually explode.
Good.
It'd be all over.
Mate, it'd be loose out there in Western Sydney. It'd be going absolutely Godzilla. But the big thing for mine is the fact that they're a side we know can score from anywhere, Dow. But the fact that in those conditions, when it comes down to more hard graft, as you touched on, that right there goes to show that they are a different side.
100%. You know what I mean? They've got some, real tenacity to them at the moment, and they're very resilient. You know what I mean? They're showing that. I think they're not the only team, but I think just the way they've turned it around in the last couple of years.
So Lucy Tungy Thuckenbauer is doing something good down there, friends, isn't he?
Absolutely, mate. He's making big changes. Like you said, they wouldn't have won that game without,
No.
in other years.
Nah, their culture seems to be going Godzilla too. And Dossie boy, we're thinking we might get you down for the Battle of the Beaches in a couple of weeks' time to win you over on Shoot Shield. What are your thoughts?
I may be busy.
Busy boy.
Yeah. I might be. Battle of the Beach is a big round.
Yeah.
Yeah, they get about 10 to 15,000 people down there.
Okay. All right.
Well, that should be good content. Jesus Christ. Good enthusiasm. But no, hopefully we can get you down there. We can get you around.
No,
down
mate,
the
I'm
beaches. It
keen.
should be going.
I'm keen.
It
keen.
is very, very loose, eh? So, mate, it'll be absolutely red hot. Oh, we've just got word Western Sydney has won the competition 3 times.
Not done.
77, 85, 86. Oh, went back to back.
Long time.
Lose. So that's 36 years since they've last
maths.
won. 10 years since they've last made finals. Let's back them in.
They're
If
gonna
they,
win.
mate, we've got to go down to that final, especially if they're in it. We spend the day out at Mount Druitt.
Mountie
We hit
bopping.
the RSL. We roll in.
TNs.
Oh,
What's TN?
pumping.
What's TN?
Just pumping.
I
19.
didn't bring him tonight. I got a pair of them. Borrow.
It'll be good gas, man. It'll be real good gas. Rugby of the round, Freeney. Who's
Fijian
your rugby?
forward pack.
Okay,
Fijian forward pack.
that was quick.
He was ready for that.
Yeah,
it's
bloody
ready
oath.
for
So
that,
what,
mate.
just the Fijian forward pack as a whole?
That was amazing.
Yeah.
Beautiful to watch. And yeah, I'm a big fan at the moment. Always been a big fan, but just they've got their shit together. It's good to watch.
Bloody oath. Big Fat Dash, your rugby?
Kevin Barrett. Mr. Barrett. Having his 3 boys playing for the All Blacks. Reasonably handy. Kane Barrett, bit of a disappointment, as we've discussed before. No, mate, just those Barrett boys, just what they do for the All Blacks is just...
You
Mate,
went
Geordie
down
at the
and had a
back.
hungy with the boys a few years ago for Naki's birthday,
And
didn't
this
you?
madman was pulling all the rocks in and the steam's coming off and he's having to wet his face because of all the... and it's like, who the fuck's this guy? That's KB. I go, oh, g'day, KB. It's Kane Barrett. I go, oh. And Hunter goes, as he had his tummy out, just his footy shorts, goes, so you're the one that didn't make it.
Oh, wow.
And I was like... And then we played... skirmish after. There's not much to do in Taranaki, and obviously they're very good at skirmish, and I was like...
Hunter wouldn't have felt a thing. He was like...
He's got no shirt, and he was hammering him. Tried to put his gun up above his head. He's like, he's like, you just got to run, man. He goes, is it bad? We go, oh, nah, it'd be right.
Not good.
He had to live in an RV for 5 days. It was these welts on his back.
His hand-eye coordination.
So Kevin Barrett.
Kevin Barrett.
Yeah.
Dow?
Dave Parecki.
Parecki. Yeah.
Yeah,
As
I love
said,
that.
Top the tackle count for the Wallabies on the
Did he?
weekend.
It was very good. Obviously, a long time coming for him. Had a fair journey.
How old's he now?
Having hit
29.
Having head overseas, played a lot of footy at London Irish, and then to come back, and even just the post-match interview with him and his dad, I thought was pretty special. His dad talked about how he, would wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning to watch his son over in Irish, and then to have it come full circle and be back here.
Yeah,
Pretty
I love
special
that stuff.
moment.
That's awesome.
Doss, your rugby.
I'll go the other old debutant, Caden Neville.
Yes, Stabilla.
Yeah, just the situation. Darcy Swain, obviously with the red card, and then with a 7-man pack, the way he stepped up in his first game, playing 80 minutes against a quality England team. Caden Neville
Looked like he'd been there for years.
Yeah.
Didn't look phased at all.
But I think that's just what it shows. Like we talk about, it's not experience at an international level, but he's hardened.
just hardened
He's
experience.
had,
Runs on the
13 years or 10 years of professional rugby experience at a Super Rugby level. You know what I mean? That's what you need.
I mean, and you bring it back a level, and we speak about me and Dallin speak about it all the time. It's like these young guys who are so, they're keen to play Super Rugby. They're just, 19, 20 years old. They just want to play Super Rugby. It's like, if you do, similar to what Caden Neville's done, if you play for 4 or 5 years against men in Brisbane club rugby,
You'll be so much better.
you'll then make that transition into Super Rugby, and you won't be worried about those inconsistent performances because you're seasoned. You're playing against men. Granted, the competition these days is a little bit young, but you play against men. You're in these situations a lot of time, these pressure situations, and you find a way to get out of it, and it's only going to be better for you.
Bloody oath. Bloody oath. Couldn't have said it better myself, so I won't say it. My rugby, we touched on it before, Harry Higgins. Love him to death.
Yes.
Top
Gorgeous
bloke.
too.
He's a good-looking rooster, but man, I was saying to you, Dal, I think on Monday, there was a section and I was just looking at, and they just happened to be talking about him, and they just zoomed in on him on the camera, and he is beefed up. He looks like he did when he was at Arkansas State Rugby, where he was
Jacked there. He's big.
yeah, he looked like a mutant there, so I think he was on the Stingrays diet. But like, mate, he is looking awesome. He's playing awesome. He's looking awesome, and I think he's just, mate, he's gonna kill it.
Great club man as well.
Yeah, and he's club captain a couple of years ago. He was in fine form at the trophy night.
He didn't make a speech.
Wore
Table
sunnies
at
the
the
whole
back,
time.
Sunglasses upside down, out the corner.
Yeah, I was with him
It
earlier
was a
on
trophy
the day.
night.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
It was good times. Yeah, that one hurt too. All righty, well, that rounds out this week's episode of the PAC Show. We'll be back to Monday night, hopefully next week. We will have both Maro Itoje and Samu Karevi in the studio, hopefully. But Doss, Dallin, Big Fat Das, Freens, Zachy Boy and the ones and twos, thank you so much for joining us. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next Monday night. Peace.
Laters.